Downhill is fine, but what about uphill? For that, you need a source of power. Muscle power, perhaps? But there must be an easier way than this. That's why these vehicles have engines. Different kinds of engines for different jobs. These children are doing a survey of the traffic near their school.
Ambulance what just went past there might come in. See it, Dave? Yeah, I can see the light. There is? Yeah. Ambulance got hit.
They will use this information to investigate how the job a vehicle has to do affects the way it is designed. They're discovering for themselves some of the questions that the designers ask. Is the vehicle carrying objects, or passengers, or both?
Okay. Can you write that in then, so we know what it is?
Back in the classroom, the children turn all their information into a bar chart.
No, let's split them up. Taxis and minicabs. 40 taxis, right. So find the 40 mark on the axis up here, right? And then draw a line with a ruler in this column here, because that's going to be the taxis column. That's it. Follow it along. Next one, that's it. Well done. Draw a little line so you know where you're going to. Okay? Now, we've finished the graph off, and you can see all the information that we collected this morning has been put onto this picture. Now, this is just one way of collecting and showing some information. We've grouped them into articulated lorries, non-articulated lorries, milk floats, police cars, ambulances, in that way. But there could be another way that we could show this information, another way we could collect it all in another way. And that could be to do with how the thing is powered, which is what we talked about earlier on this morning.
Most vehicles on the road have a petrol or diesel engine, but we don't expect you to use them. Here are some sources of power you could use. A rubber band, wound up or stretched, an electric motor, or a clockwork motor. Can you see the steel spring that provides energy to the wheels? But how shall we use them? This is just like the downhill vehicle we've already seen. We've left off some of the bodywork because what we're really interested in here is how to attach a source of power. Let's start with rubber bands. This long, flat rubber band is firmly fixed to the framework of the vehicle. A piece of aluminium clamps it in place. The other end of the band is not attached to the axle, but is wound round it. It turns the wheels as it unwinds. That's one way of using a rubber band, but not the only way. Inside this tube is another rubber band, this time turning the propeller. The small bead behind the propeller acts as a bearing to reduce friction and so help it to turn freely. The other end of the band is held firmly. That's why it helps to use a tube. You could use an electric motor. Remember, you'll also need room for a battery. The shaft of the motor has a small plastic sleeve on it to grip a rubber band which drives the wheels. You could use a clockwork motor connected in the same way. Deciding what power source you use is part of the planning stage of the design process. You remember the 4 stages: understanding the problem, planning, making, and testing. These children have decided to build powered vehicles. They've finished the planning stage.
Okay.
Dawn and Lisa are using wood. We've already seen how to work with wood in the last program. Their power source will be a stretched rubber band. They're now attaching the clamp. But Simon, Stephen and Jonathan decided to make their vehicle out of aluminium and acrylic. That calls for some new techniques. Aluminium is quite soft and can be sawn using a junior hacksaw. So can acrylic. They can both be filed smooth. And for a really smooth finish, you can use wetted abrasive paper. They can also be drilled, just like wood. Acrylic is stiff and doesn't bend, but if you heat it, it becomes quite soft and can be bent or shaped easily. When it cools down, it becomes hard again. Nancy and Pamela are using acrylic for the body of their vehicle. They want to bend it along a straight line. No need to heat the whole piece. You can use a strip heater to soften the line you want to bend. A hole saw can be attached to a brace for cutting large holes. Kate is not interested in the hole. She's going to use the piece in the middle. By sandwiching a small disc between two larger ones, Kate is making a pulley. The nails will hold the three pieces together while the glue dries. Having made all the parts, these four boys are now putting their vehicle together. To drive the wheels, they decided to use an electric motor, and that raised another problem to be solved. Electric motors are usually cylindrical, not the easiest shape to fix to a flat surface. Here's one way of doing it, using thin aluminium sheet and some tools you may not have come across. These are tin snips. Pencil doesn't mark very clearly on metal, so you need to scratch a line. The dent made with a center punch stops the drill bit from wandering. And there it is.
Okay, right, now we've put it together now, haven't we? Right, shall we test it this way up first and just see if it works? See if the motor actually does go, shall we?
Yeah.
Another band, isn't it?
It's moving along.
Oh, what a speed. Now, do you think it's going to go on the flat when we put it on the floor? How do you think it'll go when we put it down?
Well, the back wheels might spin round.
The back wheels might spin round. Yeah. Right, so I tell you what, let's turn it over and try it on the desk. If we just move some of these papers and bits and pieces out of the way. And if Des, you can hold the battery up. Okay? And now, do we know which way it's going to go before we turn it over? Hang on, let's turn it back again.
Go try
Yeah.
this.
Which way is that going to go?
This one.
Okay, then right, so stick it at that end, and if you put your hands here, right at that end, and we'll see how it goes. Here we go. That's it. There we are. Wow. Okay, we'll lift it up. Okay, switch on again. Okay. It's really fast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, now we're going to try this model on this slope. It's not a very steep slope, but we'll give it a whirl and see how it goes. Okay, Neil, do you think it's going to get up there?
No.
You think it isn't? What do you think, Dave?
Well, yes.
You reckon it will? What do you think? Because it goes ever so fast when we turn the wheels. Right, let's try it and see. I'll be here in case it goes up the end. Connect it up? Yeah? Anything how it lift? Just lift the end up. Okay, let's put it down again. Oh, it's trying, isn't it? It's trying. Just lift the back end up a little bit. What else happened? Because this goes really fast, doesn't it? Ever so fast, but there's a problem, isn't there?
There isn't enough power in the wheels. Although it goes very fast, it just hasn't got the power.
Oh, I see. So we could improve this, could we? How could we improve it then, Des?
We could put another smaller rubber band on.
Yeah, perhaps. Could we do anything else, Neil, do you think?
Where you could put a pulley on.
Right, okay. Well, I've got a pulley here. We've put this one together. We know how to put this on, don't we? Now, we could put the pulley on there. Perhaps we could try it on there. We could try it on the other axle at the other end. I've got a different drive rubber band here as well, so I'd like you to start and put that together, if you will. Okay? Reorganise it.
If your vehicle doesn't work well first time when you test it, you'll have to do what these children did. Find out why it's not working and go back to the planning stage to improve the design. They're trying a pulley. Why would that help? The pulley needs to be a tight fit on the axle. If not, some glue will help to stop it slipping. They thought a pulley would be a good idea because it increased the diameter of the axle. What difference will that make?
It has to be a spin.
Oh, I see, down there. Yeah, fine.
Just got to be in line.
Huh?
A bit more.
All right.
That would just be over a bit.
Is that it?
That's
That's great. Okay, then, Des, you ready to give it a whirl?
Yeah.
Right, here we go, then. Is that running okay?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Lovely. Do you think that's running faster or slower than it was before? When we did it
It's
the
running
first-
a bit slower.
A bit slow. What do you think, Des? You think it's slow, do you, or faster?
Slower.
You reckon it's slower too. Do you think that's going to make any difference to the way it'll run?
Well, with a pulley, it gives it more turning force.
Okay, let's try and run it on the table and see how it goes. Here we go. Go. Wow.
Wheels are spinning.
Now that really went fast, didn't it?
Wheels
Now, isn't that funny? Because this time it went a lot faster, didn't it?
It's got much
And yet the
more
other
power.
time it didn't seem to go as
And
fast
that's
at all, did it?
going, the wheels are spinning.
Yeah,
round.
we need
Look, they
some
weren't spinning
weight
before, were they? That's
on
funny,
the
isn't
back.
it? A bit of weight on the back,
Yeah,
that might right.
we could
Well, I'll tell you
put a
what
bit
now, we need to
plastic.
try this on a hill now, don't we? We're going to try some of these vehicles on the slope. We've only tried them on the flat before, and we're going to try them on this slope. It's not really very steep, but we're going to see how they run. Now, we're going to try Richard's propeller-driven vehicle first, so we'll see how that one goes, shall we? Here we go. Right, let's see how it goes. Would you like to bring yours up, Michelle?
Of course, testing isn't the end of the process, particularly if it doesn't work well.
Oh, almost made it, yes.
Some of these children will have to think again.
Hang on, now then. Get it straight first and then start it.
With the pulley, it almost makes it.
Okay, now we've got to try and find out why it is these particular models aren't running very well on the hill. Have you got any ideas? Yeah, Rebecca?
Well, this one and that one usually slips.
The
Yes.
wheel slips
Yes.
on skids.
Yes.
So you can put rubber bands around
Rubber bands round
the wheels.
the wheels, I see. And you reckon that would help? What would that do, Renata?
It will stop it slipping.
It'd stop it slipping. It'd help it to...
Grip more.
Yeah, perhaps it'd help it to grip more. Do you think that'd do something for yours as well, Michelle? So that's one method, isn't it? Is there anything else that might improve your model or make it go better on the hill, do you think? Michelle?
Put a weight on it.
We could put a weight on it, yes. Where would you put the weight in particular on this one?
On the wheels that were slipping.
What do you mean, actually on the wheels?
No,
on the-
Back there.
Oh, inside in the tray, I see, yes. Yeah, it wasn't really very successful, was it, Neil? It didn't really go very well. Now, can we think of any ways that you could improve it, perhaps, that would make it go better? Dave?
We could add rubber bands round the wheels.
Yeah, and what would that do, Dave?
Give a bit more grip to get up the slope more easy.
I see, yes. Any other ideas? What do you think, Julie? Anything else you could think of?
Weight on the top, so
A weight on the top. And that would help it grip, you think, would it? I see. Yeah, so we could put a weight on the top. Now, how would we manage to do that, do you think? Because a weight on the top and it would fall off, wouldn't it?
tray on there.
I see. What would you do that out of, Desmond?
Plastic.
Out of plastic? Oh, and bend it the same way as you've done it. I see. Right, great. Sounds beautiful. Any other ideas you might have of improving it, do you think?
We could put caterpillar traps on.
After the rethink, they're tested again. That's better.
That's great, wasn't it? Climb that, no problem at all, did it? That's super. Okay? That's great. Oh, is it going to make it? Yeah!
Jeanette thought, if we can use horses to pull large vehicles, why not mice to pull small ones?
There he goes. Right, he's in now. Seal him in for the moment. We won't leave him in for long.
Not heavy enough. It looks as if she'll have to design a better mouse.
Right, okay, we'll see what happens.
Well, we didn't say the source of power had to be attached to the vehicle.